Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there. So what are you hearing about Caleb Williams?
Oh, I you know what? I hear a lot. Everything is positive. I would just say this, that the Bears' fortune this year is not going to be determined by Caleb Williams. This is my opinion only. I think it's going to be determined by that offensive line and the defensive line. I think how that is going to be the determining factor if they go playoffs, if they don't go playoffs. I think Caleb Williams is going to play very good if Shane Waldron. Let's talk about what are we going to do with this kid. Shane Waldron, and the only reason I have some hope is that Shane Waldron was on the staff, obviously, with Bill Belichick. At New England, he was on the staff with Pete Carroll, two defensive guys that have an appreciation for running the football, okay? So with that being said, the mistake, and I keep pondering here on my radio shows and TV shows, we've got to keep this in perspective. We've got to be smart with what we do with Caleb Williams. We're going to have a defense that's going to give him the football. We got a chance. We're got a top 10 defense. We are going to give him the football in ample field position and opportunities. He doesn't have to be. Everybody's talking about, and we have great receivers. You know, when you go DJ Moore and you go Keenan Allen and you throw in Odunze, Komet at tight end, we've got outstanding receivers. As good as anybody, arguably. But that, to me, that's not going to be the factor with Caleb Williams. It's going to be, what are we going to ask this kid to do? You know, we've got to be balanced. No one in Chicago wants to hear me say the word balanced. They panic. You know, they think it's my offense of trying to run it 50 times a game, okay? No, I'm talking about being balanced. They got, DeAndre Swift in the backfield. They got some real skill, but Caleb Williams shouldn't have to be the guy as a rookie to determine how far this team goes. You know, let's put in a nice offensive system because he does. And I'll tell you this kid makes good, quick decisions. He doesn't throw interceptions. He never did in college. You know all the college stats. When at USC, 70-some touchdowns and 10 interceptions, 7-1 touchdown to interception. Outstanding. Here's what he's going to have to do. At USC, he saw a three-man rush between 20 and 30% of the time. By that, rush 3, drop 8. And what did he run for? When we used to run that coverage, okay, we were always scared to death that the quarterback, everybody's dropping out of there. He's just going to take that ball and run up in there and run for the first time. But Caleb Williams is not that guy. Does he have athletic ability? Yes. What did he average rushing in college? About 1.5 yards a carry. You think back to his USC days, how many great long scrambles did he have? That was not his game. Here's what he's going to have to do in the NFL. He's going to have to buy into throwing to the tight ends and the running backs. Get the ball out quick because he's going to see a pass rush like he's never seen in his life. Never seen in his life. And the fault that he did at USC, 23% of the time, they're dropping back 8, and he's moving around. He's avoiding the rush, but he's trying to get the big play. He would not throw the ball underneath. As a result, sacks, fumbles. That's what happens. So to me, what does Caleb Williams have to do to be successful? He's just got to make sure that he take the money, like you used to say. Take what the defense gives you. If they want to drop in coverage, they're tempting you to throw it deep, you just throw it underneath. Take the money. We got players. Keenan Allen's a great little option guy underneath. DeAndre Swift. Get these guys the ball and let them go. That's what he has to learn. And Shane Waldron, in my opinion, I can't wait to see when they start unfolding this offense. Because I'll tell you what, I was with 2 quarterbacks. I was at Chicago when Brett Favre started, okay? And his offensive coordinator and head coach was Mike Holmgren. Mike was an offensive guy we all know. offensive coordinator for the 49ers, Bill Walsh, on and on, Joe Montana. I was also at the Miami Dolphins when Tom Brady started as a rookie. So I've got two visions of competing against guys twice a year. One great defensive coach in Belichick, rookie quarterback. One great offensive coach, Mike Holmgren, Brett Favre. Guess what? Both of them, it was run the ball, ton of screens. Mike Holmgren, Belichick, they were running tight end screens, fullback screens, tailback screens. And why were they doing that? They were gaining confidence with this young kid and just bringing him along. And they were playing great defense, both teams, okay? And when they had opportunities with their playmakers to make plays, they did. But I think Brady and Favre gained confidence as they went through the process. And I just hope that we do this with Caleb. I hope we don't get into, we got great receivers and talent. Let's let them drop back and let it fly. That would be a mistake for this football team, and it would be a mistake, I think, for this kid. Let's just take it one step at a time. We got enough talent in other areas to help this kid out.
I'm going to throw this story at you. I thought it was really interesting. And inside a locker room, and there is something about the quarterback position. Howie Long says you can't have two-star quarterbacks in the same room. Each one sucks the oxygen out of the room. So Russell Wilson has never been popular inside of his locker rooms. I mean, we know that now, coaches, players. Justin Fields, to the very end in Chicago, was loved by his teammates. So Mike Tomlin has a dance to play. That Fields is bigger, more athletic, and a better arm, but is viewed as the backup. Russell will get the starting nod, but he's a bit inauthentic and not as liked in a locker room. And at this point in his career, not as dynamic athletically as Fields is. And so it's going to be a weird balance where you don't want the locker room picking sides, but everybody loves Justin. At practice, I bet he looks great. I mean, he's 6'4", moves well, big arm. And I wonder what Tomlin, Pittsburgh well. It is a weird dynamic. If the players actually, he's young. He's not rich. The young guys will go out with Justin. They're not going to go out with Ciara and Russ in their. That's not what's going to happen. And I think to myself, if Russ loses back-to-back games, that locker room, they like Justin Fields. That young locker room, young guys hang out with young guys. What's I think it has a powder keg feel.
Yeah,
to it.
Two thoughts on that. And I know Justin very well. And I was a supporter of Justin's here. But at the end of the day, your quarterbacks are determined by your team's down by 10, right? With 5 minutes to go. Do you have a guy at quarterback that can take you down the field and score twice and win the game? Justin Fields, I hate to even say this, but, if you look at his fourth quarter stats since he's been in the past, worst in the league. Interceptions, sacks, turnovers. Terrible. Justin Fields is going to do things, guys, that get you out of your chair, okay? He's going to get you out of your chair in your living room. That's very difficult for you to do, Colin, I know, when you get home, getting out of your chair, okay? But you're going to have to put that vodka down and you're going to have to get out of your chair, okay? But at the end of the day, Russell Wilson's the guy. I'm a fan. This guy threw 3 touchdowns to 1 interception last year. I was looking at it this morning, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions under adverse conditions with Sean Payton. Let's face it, the guy was miserable. And he's going to walk into that. You walk into the entrance of and I've been there, was sharing offices and fields with these guys for 6 years when I was at Pitt. You walk into that Steeler office and you see nothing but Super Bowl trophies. And Russell probably has a terrible towel under his front seat of his car. I mean, he's got the terrible towel going. That will not be a problem. He will buy in so quick, and Mike Tomlin will do such a great job of bringing him along. And I'll tell you, he's got an offensive coordinator now, Arthur Smith. This guy's good. I mean, he's really good, and he's going to do things, I think, that re-energize Russell. I think they'll have some plays for Justin Fields. I think he'll come in, he'll make a run, or he'll make a scramble or do something and it'll get all the terrible towels going in the stadium. But at the end of the day, to win a Super Bowl and win your division, it's Russell Wilson, in my opinion. And I'm a Justin Fields fan, but I've faced Russell Wilson going back to NC State days when he was down here and I was at Pitt and we played him. So I know him well, and I'm just a fan. I really am.